that. We got the camera going.
Yeah, after it shut off several times. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Yeah, we've done some redecorating. We're missing a big thing right here. We've got a new toy.
Yeah, stay down.
My birthday present.
For round table abuse subjects, of course.
Yes, that's Mr. Clown.
I had to. It's perfect time. It's like a Jackass scene.
It's sitting there. All right, we're gonna. As you can see, we're probably gonna be playing with knives today. These are practice. They're not sharp. They won't cut anybody. I'm not gonna grab a real one unless I'm going to grab one to show you my favorite. But before we get into that,
Yep.
we're going to explain big circle, little circle. Now, if you don't know what that is, it is a concept of body movement to get used to doing certain movements. Usually, to teach big circle, little circle, we start off with wrist grabs, which he grabs my wrist, I come here, and I'm friendly to him. I wave hi. Now, the purpose of that is if he grabs, I shift my hips this way, and then I shift back, and I bring my hand up and around, and I wave hi.
Which, for some reason, does not allow my thumb to keep its grip.
No, it doesn't. That is the whole reason why the thumb is a weak spot, and that's what you're going for. The reason why you go one direction first is to actually draw their attention away from that before you come back and take your arm out. So, there's for the same wrist with a different grab, you would go to the outside, shift back, come toward the thumb, and then be friendly to yourself.
You can't see me.
Become John Cena. I told you these videos are more fun when he's around. I told you I'm boring by myself, so that's why I enjoy doing these videos with him.
It's more fun when you have someone to play off of and then throw into the wall.
We have too much fun doing these, really, we do. So that's big circle is he grabs, I go here, and I'm friendly to him. Little circle, he grabs, I go, and I get out of the grip. Do it again, boom. That was almost a medium circle. Here. He still kind of got me, but I'm out of the grip. Actually, I can reverse it on him at that point. Here.
Yep, because now that he's got my arm, all he's got to do is twist it.
Yeah, from this point, once I get to this point, it's here.
Yep.
So
Which can also be applied to other movements, other techniques, not just the wrist locks.
Yes, such as big circle, little circle when we're doing blocks or parries. We do a inside to outside middle block. He comes in, that's big circle right here. I'm fighting him, he comes in, I don't pull all the way down here, I just take my hand and throw it over. So if he punches right at me, boom.
Oh, Jesus. Even a mess up hurts from you.
That essentially actually takes him off balance as well. It's a short movement, but that's the difference between basic blocks and advanced blocks. It's big circle, little circle. It's being able to do the same technique in a more confined space with the same amount of power. It's much like basic punches, advanced punches. If I punch him with a basic punch, if I go for an advanced punch, I can actually, well, let's see, basic punch is a boom. Advanced punch is being able to be in a shorter position and throw a technique and be able to hit hard. But you have to learn how to do all the basic movements first before getting in here and being able to do the same thing at the maybe even more power. So there's your difference between advanced and basic, and what actually makes them those things. Most people associate advanced and basic with like difficulty level, and just because a kick is a little harder to do doesn't necessarily make it an advanced kick. If you do any form of gymnastics, you can do an advanced kick.
Gymnastics and Taekwondo go together like bacon and lettuce and a tomato.
Go to any modern tournament these days, you can watch the creative kata, and you will see people doing these aerial kicks and everything, and you have to think to yourself, that was really pretty cool, but would that work in a street fight? Probably not. So our focus is more on preparing for a street confrontation, and B, using your strengths and your weaknesses, even making your weaknesses your strength. Michael here is not a strong striker. However, that doesn't stop him from blocking me. If I were to throw a technique, he can actually take the block. I can demonstrate. So he doesn't strike. So if he throws a technique, come in, hit from here. You don't have to be a strong striker. All he's got to do is get the person's arm out of the way and go in for the face. You've already got him off balance.
Exactly.
So you don't have to be a strong striker. It just has to be annoying.
You know me, I'm annoying. That's why I call it the locust.
The other thing, that is the most annoying Mac.
Try hitting me, you can't. Whoa, miss.
Of all things, we play Battletech, and I'm going to tell you, if you ever start playing Battletech, every time I've trained on the tabletop version of the game, I've always put my students in a locust, because it is the fastest, most agile, and most annoying mech on the board. And if you can pilot that, you can pilot anything, because that thing gives you, it's crazy. But,
and again, like my annoyance, I also have a high pain tolerance, so I can also just let him hit me until I get an opening. Not that that's the best idea, and you'll agree that that is not the best idea.
that's probably one of the worst strategies you could probably ever come up with.
But we can all agree though that it's not about hitting your opponent and taking them down. It's how much can you take from your opponent to get him down. If should it get to the point where you can't throw a punch or a kick or do anything.
Yeah.
If you can take his hits to get to a point where you can hit him twice as hard, totally worth it. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to be in a fight. So I'll take the beating if I can end the fight with one or two hits.
Yeah,
of course, having a high pain tolerance.
If you can't take a hit,
run.
Yeah, run. Get out of the way. Something.
Call for help. Scream for help. Actually,
another thing that he could do, especially because he's a kicker. I'm not. He's got no flexibility. He's got a lot more flexibility than I do. I'm not even gonna get him in the head.
He can barely hit me in the chin, but I can actually kick over his head.
Yes, and
that's just being on the ground. That's not charging or jumping.
I'm taller than him too.
That's awesome.
I'm taller than him by like a couple inches.
Exactly.
So yeah, him getting over my head. By the way, see, we teach Miyagi out here. So he's got a lot more flexibility. He can kick higher. Another thing that he would be able to do, being a kicker, is if someone were to attack and they throw a punch in, boom, take his knees out. I encourage kicking in the knee. I really do. Kicking in the knee, kicking in the chest, and I'll tell anybody, hey, if you have the full capability to actually put a side kick up in somebody's face, do it.
Also, if you put a side kick in someone's face,
they probably won't be getting up for a while.
It's either they won't get up, or they're going to actually be in a state of, did I just get kicked in the... I've seen it myself. There are times when someone gets kicked in the head, they do not know what's going on, because they're not thinking, oh, he's going to kick me in the head. No one's going to be able to kick me in the head. You get kicked in the head, it's a shock to the system.
I do recommend that if you did kick someone in the head, you can pull it off. Do a side kick, because a side kick hits right here. It knocks the head backwards, which will actually cause them to go unconscious. And you get a knockout. You want a knockout.
Always want that knockout. If not a knockout, a disable.
Yes.
Which is why he kicks people in the kneecaps.
Yeah, I go for the knee. Here's why I go for the kneecaps. I've seen people fight one arm, but I've never seen anybody fight on one leg.
Yeah. Pogo fight you.
Take out that leg, they can't fight, they can't run, they're now on the ground. And unless there's some kind of, I mean, even if they are a jiu-jitsu type person, they're going to need both legs.
They are.
You break the leg, it's kind of done.
Yep.
So my job in a fight is to end it as fast as possible, whether that's talk my way out of it or break something. I've been very good about doing the first one. I've been very good about doing the second one too. I think the last time I had to break something, it was somebody's nose.
Ooh.
And
Poor dude.
Yeah, and if I had known better how to fight 3 people at one time, it would have been a whole new story I'd be telling today. Yeah, but because I wouldn't have just broke the guy's nose.
And fractured his face.
I would have tore up his leg. I would have. They wouldn't have been running from me. They wouldn't have run from that fight at all.
Please, mercy. They're just clawing away from him.
They would have been calling the police, and they would have arrested 3 guys for assault, and I probably would have gone in too. So it's good I didn't. The police actually said that was self-defense because it was 3-on-1.
Exactly. And another good thing about what I can do as opposed to what you can do with like the flexibility and the kicks,
Yes.
is I actually, because I know how to throw a punch, I know my punches, but I don't have enough upper body strength to make it work. But here's the thing, I kick. Look how much length I have as opposed to my fists. My legs are longer than my arms. I have more defense range. If he gets in halfway, I can knee him.
I was just gonna say, I gotta teach him to use his knees and elbows more, because they get in too close.
Bah!
You got these, you got this, you got your groin.
Headbutting.
Headbutt.
No one recommends headbutting unless the last resort. You will probably hurt yourself. You will hurt yourself more than you hurt them, even if you are psychologically ready to do it.
Unless it's this one.
Oh, yeah, the back buck, where you just go boom.
Please, if you can hit somebody, if they grab a hold of you, you can headbutt them with the back of your head. Do so. They will let go, because if you break their nose, their eyes will water up, and the first thing they're going to do is reach for their face. I know that because that's exactly what the guy did when I broke his nose. He hit that fence and was. Actually, he hit the fence and fell down. And then he reached for his face and he went to get up, and I punched him in the face again.
Nobody mess with Sensei Randy, please. Please don't do this.
I want to say, meanwhile, while he was like on the ground and trying to recover from getting hit, his 2 buddies jammed me into the fence, and I was busy fighting them off when he went to get up, and I punched him again and told him to stay down.
The life of a martial artist is not a nice one, ladies and gentlemen.
No, especially when we don't have a problem fighting in the street. I have to actually stop myself from getting out of my car sometimes, because I'm like, that guy could have a gun. We'll just stay here.
Or a mag light, the modern day maze.
Yes.
So hit with a mag light in the middle of the street.
Those are some of the things you can do using your weaknesses. And one of the reasons I bring this up is I've talked about people being in wheelchairs.
Yes.
People being in wheelchairs, and everybody looks at that as being a weakness. I swear to God, the right person in knowing how to use a wheelchair, they can move their wheelchair around and be able to hit you with their legs and parts of that wheelchair like I would be able to kick you. They'll hit you in your shins, they'll be able to grab you, pull you across it, use that wheelchair as a weapon. I am all for that, and if anybody would like to learn, hey, I will put myself in a wheelchair and I would learn to do that just to teach them to do it. Because I don't feel that being in a wheelchair is a weakness.
And
You've
it's
got
not.
the weapon with you at all times.
It's like people who have crutches.
Yep.
If you have a foot cast and you're using standard crutches, all you have to do, position yourself on your good leg, you grab the bottom end of that crutch, drop your other crutch, grab your first one, and you just baseball swing the hell out of your opponent. Or keep him at bay by hitting him in the throat with the flat end. The part your arm goes on is perfectly curved to hit somebody in the throat. I know because I've tried. Or, I say tried, I mean have done.
Actually, that's what I was going to recommend. You take that curved part and put it against their throat, they'll back up.
Oh yeah.
Here's a case in point. He's going for a choke, and I do this. Yeah, he'll back up.
Jeez.
All I do is take 2 fingers, put it in his throat. So, we got
but that had a severe action to that.
Yes.
I felt that in the back of my neck.
That's a very dangerous move to do, but if you're being choked out, that's the thing you can do. Put your 2 fingers right in their throat, make a step forward. They will back up. They'll get off you because you're choking them worse than they're choking you.
You're choking them directly.
Yeah, they're squeezing this shut. You're actually pushing their airways shut. Thank you, Sensei Couch, for that one.
Yes.
And he taught me that in yellow belt level.
Thank you, Sensei Couch, because that is a good thing.
Now, before we start this, I'm going to point out one simple thing. And if someone pulls a knife on you and shows it to you, they're intimidating you. Because if someone wanted to actually stab you with a knife, it would look like this. Because they're not going to tell you they're going to do it. They pull a knife on you, they're intimidating you, they're trying to rob you, make you do whatever, they're threatening you. At that point, now self-defense, especially if you don't have a knife in your hand. So, first of all, try to dissuade the person from doing anything. Try to de-escalate the situation. Next, if he decides to come in with the knife strike, here, I've got him here, break the arm, break the wrist, then you take the knife. I say take the knife because if you're in this type of situation, and I've said this in other videos, this guy could be fighting you, but he's got 2 more buddies. You honestly think his buddies are going to stand there while you take his knife and allow you to do whatever to him and not do anything to you? At this point, if you want to be nice, you can cut there. We won't get into some of the other places you can cut because that's ending the fight very quickly, and you may end up with a lot of police involvement.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that move. Another one that can be done is if he comes in here by the throat, knee is there, take down, and down he goes. Take the knife, cut, 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 cut.
Let's be very clear, ladies and gentlemen, that if knives are involved in anything, that even your self-defense, anything like that, your security guard, if knives are involved, no matter what it looks like, it's still going to look horrifying. This old way of solving a problem, a very personal way of solving a problem. So what y'all see him cutting and stabbing me, you either do that or they get up and try to shoot you or stab you again.
Which is true. The street fight, there's a guy out there, his name is Ernest Anderson. Very skilled knife fighter. Studied a lot of different martial arts. And one of the things that he wrote in a book that I read from him is that the bad guy, the difference between the good guy and the bad guy is we actually care if somebody gets to go home. We don't want anything bad to happen to people. But the bad guy, he doesn't care if you go home. He doesn't. He doesn't care what he takes from you. He doesn't care what he takes from your family. They don't care. And if you're put into a situation where you got 2 or 3 bad guys and you have to take one out of this world, you got to do it. That's the end of the story. Honestly, God, I have never had to do that. I never hoped to ever have to do that. And I know placed in that situation, if you were to attack me, I would probably hurt you really badly. My goal would be to knock you unconscious because you're attacking me. But if you attack my wife or my kids or a friend of mine who doesn't fight, no, if there's definitely just more than one of you, there's going to be a few going to the hospital, and maybe some that are going to the morgue, because I will do what it takes to end the fight and protect my friends and my family. And that's me. That's what I do. I would do it for him. If someone wrongfully attacked him, yeah, I would have no problems with ripping that person to shreds. My wife she's seen some of my tests, she's seen me do fights, she's seen me do all kinds of things, and she's actually walked in on training and she's like, man, I really hope to God nobody ever puts their hands on me or us while we're out, because I really just don't want to see what you would do to them. So that's what I train for.
And me, as an individual, both training with him and without him, same mentality. Problem with me is, you touch me, you touch my family, my friends, anybody I care for, even an animal that I don't know. Your life no longer counts in my book. You'll limp away, but if I wanted to, gone. Like breaking a stick. Because I don't like bad people. I don't like people who fuck with other people. Yeah. Force of habit. My apologies. But yeah, his mentality is he'll defend. My mentality is I will defend and end.
Oh, I'll defend and end.
Not just brutal though.
Yeah, you attack me, it's one thing. You attack my family and friends, it's different.
Oh yeah.
But,
moving on.
yes. Say, for whatever reason, the guy pulled out a knife, you happen to have one. My personal preference is to hold the knife in this position. So, we're in the same stance. If he comes in, I'm going to step back, I'm going to cut the arm, and I'm going to come in here. That's one thing. Another move that can be done is come in from the outside, cut across here, cut across here.
What are you going for?
I'm not sure because I'm going to go here.
Yeah, because you can have easily just
cut the wrist.
I was expecting you to stab me in the back of the skull.
That can be done too.
Because you have me in the executioner's position.
Yeah, we're not going to go mafia on people.
I mean, you could, but not a good idea with observers.
Yes.
That's going to be a questionable act of defense.
Yes. Holding the knife in this position. If I'm back here and I have the knife behind me and he comes in and come here, come across, stab in here, come across here. Maintain control of that arm at all times.
Even after the body has slightly gone limp.
Or you want to switch hands? If I'm going to put it in the front, or we'll do it this way. Put it in my front hand where I can see it, and he comes in, come here, cut to the back, cut across here, and then there. We're talking knife fighting. I guarantee you, if you let this guy get up, he's going to stab you. Granted, you could survive a stab. Actuality, if someone were to cut your throat, you could survive that too.
For a brief period of time.
Actually, there's people almost have been cut very bad.
Oh, The Colombian necktie?
Almost. They've had it done, but they've actually survived it.
Oof.
It was gruesome. Nothing you really want to go through, but you can survive it. Don't freak out.
That's actually a good thing. When you are if you are stabbed in the stomach, you know you've been stabbed. Do not panic. Once you panic, you can't do anything else, because then you're going to start frantically bleeding and going into shock.
You start panicking, your heart rate goes up, you start bleeding faster, you will start to lose consciousness because of loss of blood, and you will start to go into shock because your body is trying to protect itself. If you remain calm, you will last a lot longer. Remain calm.
We know that's hard to do if you've been stabbed in any part of your body, but trust us, you will go into shock so much quicker if you start panicking. It's the same with being shot. No one gets knocked over from a bullet wound. That's their mind overreacting. So you can literally stand up and be shot in the chest and go, I guess I'll die now. But not actually die.
Yeah.
Stabbings and shootings are not as fatal as you might think. You can be shot in the head and still live. Probably not by a sniper rifle, but a handgun won't kill you. It'll make you wish you were dead.
Yeah,
I've seen those people survive. That's horrifying.
Yes.
Horrifying thought.
Yeah, that is some horrifying.
Oh, over what we're doing right now, that's the horrifying thought. Moving on.
I'm gonna, once again, have the knife in the front hand. He comes in, stab. I'm gonna go for the femoral artery here. I'm going for the inside of the leg.
So, if you can't see it from that angle,
I'm going right here. I'm bringing it in, and I'm cutting across here. That, yeah, that will end the fight quickly.
it's also a one-way trip to court.
That guy, well, if there's more than one, it will probably be self-defense. If it's a one-on-one fight, yeah, that was intentional. And, yeah, you will be standing in front of a judge.
Yep.
It's hard to defend against that. So, hold on to this real quick.
All right.
Be right back. I'm gonna show you my toys. These are my toys. These are what are carrying me all the time. These are karambits. And I enjoy carrying these because that hook blade, I've got a knot there. I've got a ring here that I can punch someone in the face. And my favorite thing of all is I don't even have to open these things up. They're pocket knives, and if I get into a situation and I don't have them open up, I'm perfectly okay. Because this one I've got nice little things there to hit with. I've got a nice little out there, boom. And yeah, these are my babies.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That's my favorite.
Also, two things that I need to be aware of.
But if you're going to carry a knife, I suggest these. I know people who don't like them because you put your finger in that little ring there and they don't like that. I love it because I can take it, flick it out, hit someone in the face. Great. I've had this one longer. You can tell I've dropped it numerous times. I've got dents and stuff in it. But yeah, knife fighting. This is why I like knife fighting right here. This is why I like knife fighting. Don't worry, I'm not going to use it on him. He's got this.
Y'all can see it on my face, and so can he, but I know he's not going to do that. Still, there have been accidents, and I'm not going to be anywhere near it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be anywhere near that dumpster fire of an accident.
Yeah, just so you know, I was showing this to somebody earlier today. When they handed it back to me, I nicked my finger and it bled like a stuck pig. And I had to play guitar at the same time. Yay. So, that's not
Right.
fighting.
Playing guitar with the
Those
cut
are
fingers
some-
not fun.
Those are some things you can do.